Right, today I want to talk about the room that we're sat in, the building that we're sat in. So in about 2009, property was relatively cheap. So this particular building that we're sat in, it was gutted. It was absolutely gutted. It was falling bits, everything was knackered. So I looked around, I thought, right, I need a base and I need a showroom. I need to be on a high street, I need to be local, I need to stand out. So I went into Horwich and I looked at everything and I couldn't really find anything that suited. Because of parking, really, it was difficult. When I spotted this place, this high street that we're on, had a car shop that was extremely busy, and it also had a carpet shop that was really busy. Them two properties at side of us have helped our business because of passing trade, etc. So what I did, I bought this building. I thought, sod it, I'm going to buy the building because we'd gone through stages of where set the company up at my mum's, so I had the attic. Then I moved to Martindale House, which is on the A6. A guy gave me a chance in there, Philip, really good guy. Got a huge window company. I went in there, probably did about a year in there. Then we came out of there just through financials, things just didn't work out, etc. Then I ended up back at my mum's, I can't remember if we converted the attic before. Anyway, we ended up back at my mum's. We was in there. Then about 2005, I was renting property and I decided to buy property and I bought my house, lovely big house. Well, it wasn't big, it was big to me at the time. It's not big now, but it was a lovely house in Blackrod. I converted the back room, made that into offices, and that was my base. So then we stayed there and I got sick of working from home. So that's why I bought this place. So I thought, right. So this was on for 78,000. Now to scrape the cash and get this paid for was really difficult because the building was unmortgageable. So I really struggled with that, working every hour God sends. Anyway, we bought the building. We talked Worcester into doing a showroom project with us. They subsidised a hell of a lot of the showroom. We also taught Polypipe into it, other manufacturers, Plumbase. Plumbase reneged on it though. I hate to say that, but they did. But it was down to, it wasn't really their fault, I suppose. It was just down to the fact of what was going on in the economy. They'd had budgets that got cancelled, etc. It was difficult. It was difficult. Probably the wrong time to set up a showroom, but the right, if that makes any sense. So we gutted the building, and while we was in a recession, we used our own lads, so we did all the work ourselves. So because our team are quite multitasked, we did majority of it ourselves. So we only needed really to get in like plasterers and joiners, etc., electricians, things like that, because we could do all the donkey work ourselves. So the rip out was horrendous. We did that. And then one of the lads who worked for us at the time was an all-rounder, and he just could do a bit of everything. So he was doing bits, and then we got a couple of local builders to help us out. Anyway, long story short, over the time we built this particular building, and it's got a lovely flat above it, which is really nice, that's a 2 bedroom, which we've designed that if we ever expand we can knock into that because it's all ready to go. So upstairs would just flip into more offices if we ever expand, so we have got room for expansion up there. So I'll tell you a little bit about the journey, how we did it. We basically come into the building, and every time that we were slack we worked on the building, and because we're in a recession that allowed me to pay the lads and get the value out of it, but I still needed cash and turnover. So if they was working here, I was out working, so we kind of did it in between each other. So ultimately we managed to build a really good showroom. That showroom in there, which I'm going to take you into in a bit and give you a walkthrough and talk you a little bit about it, is probably the only one in the northwest that's got live solar in it. This particular building's run off an heat pump. Although it is an old heat pump, it's still effective, it still works. It's got full underfloor heating on all 3 levels. So again, this is what you would call an A-rated building. It's super insulated. Our electric bills, because we're a business, are quite high because it's not capped. The probably talking about £700 a month, something like that, for the bills, which was 180 originally, but obviously with soaring costs and prices, etc., it's gone a bit out of control. So my heat pump is great, but I suppose everyone's aware now they're not that much cheaper, if not dearer than gas at the minute. But ultimately it works, it's great, it's been in for a long time, it does a job, it serves a purpose. And would I fit another heat pump in my property? Probably would, yeah, to be fair. But yeah, that's what the building's run off, and I'm going to talk you through the journey. Now, this room that we're sat in, this was outside. This bit was the actual back garden. So what we did, we already had a roof on it. It was already like half of it, so we converted it into this room, because for about 15 years it had a plastic roof on it. It was outside, it was freezing cold, and it was a dump, so we super insulated it, put a roof on, put a balcony on it, so you can come out the apartment above our flat, we're going to call it walkabout. It's really nice, it's a good area, it's a good place to do board meetings, podcasts, or whatever you want to do, but it has admittedly ended up being a storage a little bit, which I talked about previously. We're going to sort that out and put that at the unit. But this particular showroom, I did it, the main reason I did it, because I noticed that nobody had this around this area, nobody. I mean, there's a few now actually that have done it, but nobody had it at our level. So I found for the first few years, nobody ever walked in. Now people walk in, customers come in, it's somewhere where they can come in, speak to us if they've got any issues, talk to somebody. It's just a hub where they can go to. So I think this is probably one of the best investments we ever made that helped us grow our company, although it did cost a lot of money. Would I buy the building again? If I did it again, I probably wouldn't buy the building again. I'd just put it into my business and let my business take care of it. This is kind of like the pension, this building, to be fair. But I think I probably wouldn't do that again. I think I'd probably rent and do it differently. And there's a reason for that. That's just another video and podcast to do about it, really. But I'd probably do that. And people have asked me, would you buy or would you? And that's been a big discussion. I bought because I had a plan and it's working, my plan. So ultimately, all that hard work that I put in and time which I can never get back, and now get a rental income from this building to my property company. So ultimately, I rent this out to M&R. So that's the reason why I did it. And what I'll do is I'll take you into the back in a second and we'll go through it and I'll show you what we've got in there. Now, bear in mind, some of that technology is old and probably does need updating. The reason why I haven't updated it is because the heat pump side, the boiler side, all the dummies is fine, but the heat pump side hasn't really taken off in the industry that we're in, we're replacements, etc. So the heat pump market is non-existent practically in what we do, and we've still got a really healthy boiler market. The heat pump industry is mainly like new build, social housing. Would I go into that? Yes, I would. Have I got the infrastructure to do it? No, I've not. So we're still continuing with this business model. We do heat pumps. I can fix heat pumps again. I've got enough support around me with my network. If I've got any problems, we can get it sorted. I've got enough people around me. I've been in the industry, quite a long time, so I know everybody that I need to know to get that sorted. So let's go in and we'll show you the showroom. So I'm going to show you the operations in the showroom now. It's live, so ignore what's going on in the background. We've got people talking, booking in jobs, looking for work, doing the general run of the company. I'll just explain to you what we're doing. So the room you stood in is my room where I do, speak to the engineers, show them stuff on the screen, what we're doing from my laptop, have a little diary of stuff there. This is my area really. And unfortunately my truck's in for being sprayed, so we've got a load of stuff in here and things that shouldn't be. But if you come through, I'll show you. So we've got disabled toilet because it's a single story building with a disabled access, so we thought we'd put a disabled toilet in and do our bit. We've got the kitchen where they make all the brews and the Tassimore coffees and what have you. That's the brew room. Now in here, as we go through here, this is where Sandra sits. She mainly does accounts and things like that, so she kind of chases payments, always busy, non-stop. Jess, she does pretty much everything. Operations, going through, making sure the work's in, looking after the business. Maya does the same. Wes, who's sat in the middle of the two girls, he's now doing operations, trying to organise work for the following weeks as it's summer. So in winter, generally we don't really have to do this because it just keeps coming in, but in summer we've got to focus onto plans. So the reason why I did this showroom is because I wanted a working showroom that had team members in it. It looked realistic. There's a lot of stuff going on, so when people come in, they know what we're about. This is full renewable section. So you've got, this is fed from the roof. This is about 10 years old now, this. So this is solar. So this is a Worcester Bosch solar system. We probably don't pay for any hot water in this building from, I would say, May, June, July, August up to September, really. So that does really work. The recovery rate to get your money back on it, probably about 7 years, something like that. But ultimately, it's pretty good. This is the heat pump. This is an Ursos heat pump. This is a very old unit. It's combined, so it's so big because everything's built into that, and it has one outside unit. A lot of the newer heat pumps are different than this and they're better performing, but it has served a purpose. The full building's underfloor heated, so when we bring customers in, we can show them underfloor heating, we can show them a bit about heat pumps, temperatures, how they all work. We've got a full row of dummy boilers on the wall here. starting with the 8000 style, the 4000, the compact, the RI. We've also got in that corner where Sandra's sitting, that's the high floor. We moved that there because it's huge and it was taking up too much space. So if you come further on, there's some stuff about controls. This is obsolete, it's now been replaced that, so ignore that. So when customers come in, they've got a base to come to. They can look at the boilers, the certificates, they can see the team members, they can see what's going on. Right, so we're expanding. So what we're going to do is cut that door out eventually, go into that apartment and run again with another set of offices up there, because currently it's lived in accommodation, which is not going to be forever. So we'll probably expand upstairs as time goes on. So we've got another 2 floors to go at. So the expansion of the company, if we replicate another 10 vans, we're going to need another team, which we'll set upstairs and so on and so forth. If we outgrow this building, that'll be an achievement. So that's what I'm concentrating on doing at the minute to get things where we're going. The whole office is kind of automated. So with the systems process we have in here are all linked. So the 3 screens that we've got are a really good idea if you want to have a quick look at that. So they can work on the diary, emails, any projects. If I bring a customer in and I'm speaking to the camera now and I say to Maya, can you project onto that screen? She'll project onto that screen so the customer can see it. If I need to interrupt and grab the keyboard and the mouse and work on that as well, so that is actually a working station. Importance of having a showroom, I think, is all this, because it gives someone somewhere to come. They can see we've invested. This whole project, this room and this bit's probably in excess of 100k. So there's a lot of money being spent in here and a lot of investment. That's to show to customers that we're not a fly-by-night company. We've invested in the company and we don't plan on going anywhere. And we've been in here since 2011. Again, that's a replication of each desk is exactly the same. Each team member can jump up and go on each desk. That can show what's going on so he can see. So he can project there. If he asks Jess any questions, he can see the diary, he can see what's going on there. Sandra's got the exact same thing here. So each desk is replicated the same. That TV is getting changed because it's quite old, so we're going to replace that TV. But the idea of the showroom was to give people a base, somewhere to come. So if you had a problem, if I'm going out to a job, what I thought, well, people say, well, I've not got the security, I've nowhere to go, I've got a PO box or whatever it is. They can literally come in here and see the amount of investment that we've done, which goes to show that we're not just here to be a bankrupt company and just here for the short duration. So this is something that we've built and we're going to replicate upstairs as we grow and add team members to it. So that's the basic idea of having a showroom, to have somewhere where the customers can come and they can sit somewhere, and then if you want privacy, I can take them in the back, sit at the table, go through projects. I have meetings in there, but at the moment this particular room is full of stuff that shouldn't be in there. It will be sorted that tomorrow, but unfortunately, like I said, my truck is in for repair, so there's some bits and pieces in there that shouldn't be in here. But other than that, that's the reason for having it. As well as you can also get deliveries, you know, any expensive products. We've got a few bits of boiler bats over there, so the boilers get delivered here, but we don't stock them here just in case we get broken into, so nothing's stocked. So the boilers get dropped here and go to the job, or they get dropped at the job. So again, the units just got consumables in, not really worth stealing. The boilers we don't stock specifically because of that reason. But this particular showroom, I feel, has really enhanced our business, and other companies out there that I've spoke to and been involved with, they've said to me, what about getting an office? And I've said, you need to do that, because I do believe customers want to see something they can touch, feel and look at. If you're just working from home or just working out of somewhere they don't know, I think that's quite a put off. So the importance of me having this showroom is that, and I'll just quickly show you outside as well what it looks like. So basically I chose this area because you can see straight away the amount of parking you've got. So customers can park all here in the streets, the side streets, it's perfect. So if you stand back a little bit here, I'll show you the front of the showroom. So as customers come past, they can see that. That shows about the GHE merge, it's showing that there. You've got M&R pub, you can't miss it. That all illuminates at night, that shows everybody what we do. It's amazing how many people don't actually see that. It's so strange. So they'll come and they say, oh, I didn't know you were here. But they all know where Paul's Pasties is. So ultimately that works. And that's why I moved on here, because you've got the carpet shop that I spoke about that's extremely busy. This particular block here, with the chip of these businesses, is very busy, and further on down to Domino's too. So we get a lot of traffic, all this traffic coming past every day. So fortunate. So I'm going to take you around the back and show you what we've done around the back. So what we've done out in the back here is basically, the back street's pretty, you know, it's not the best looking. So what we've tried to do, that's our loading bay, that's where the stuff goes up to. Power washing for washing the cars and things like that. I'm sure everyone's got that. But what we've got is this sign up here, which again, when people walking the dogs, when they're doing what, it could do with a clean that actually, when they're walking the dogs on the fields, they can walk past and it's just showing a little bit more advertisement. I did think of filling these windows in and then thought about against it. Just while we're touching on that, that's the outside unit for the heat pump, and there's an aircon at the side of it. We had to do that because we had no garden. That was a task. We had to handball that up there. That was a real task. But you can see what we're trying to create. We're trying to create professionalism even in this tiny area. And there's not much we can do with it, but we've done our best. So I just wanted to share that with you and show you. I think it's very important, presentation, how you look. And I will get this clean now because I'm quite embarrassed that that's quite full of cobwebs and things. But ultimately, it's important that customers see that you're doing something different than the competition. You care about things, your vans are clean, your showroom's clean, everything's clean, uniforms, everything, even myself. I have got jeans on and I have got trainers on, depending on where I'm working, but if I'm quoting, I usually try to look smart, smell good. My hair's a bit of a mess today, and that's because I can't put anything on at the minute because of the condition I think I've mentioned about, but just for today, I can have a messy hair day. So it's all about presentation and how things look. So this needs painting, for instance. So in the summer, again, we'll get that painted up. We do this every year. We power wash all that every year. We make sure it's presentable so people know that we are keeping care. Because if you're keeping care of your business, keeping care of your vans, keeping care of everything, surely you're keeping care of your customers. So I think it's important, presentation. So that's one of the main reasons I did the showroom, because I wanted to stand out. Standing out from the competition is the great way, but what you'll find is a lot of competition, particularly in your area, you'll always get somebody that's younger than you, which I found, or somebody that's older than you, that'll do this, and they'll look at you and they'll be like, that's shit art, how can I replicate and do it? So what I do, I see somebody doing something better than me. I think that's brilliant. And that competition that we have keeps us all alive, because if it wasn't there, we'd settle and we wouldn't do half of this. So I believe competition's good. It can be unhealthy at times with pricing wars and things like that, but competition is good, and that's why I'm welcoming people to watch what I'm doing, and I want to get other successful companies on telling their story, because there's loads of it around here, and it depends on company personality, who people want to shop with, and so also we can't serve everybody. So I think the reason is to have a showroom and stand out and look is basically, if you want to grow, you need to be doing these things. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe so I can keep continuing to do these videos. Anything you need to ask me, just drop it in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.